Hey, ppsimmons fans, check this out here. This was in Yahoo News this morning as I was looking through the various news sites that I enjoy looking at, and Yahoo happens to be one of them. Desert tortoises can hear better underwater. This is fascinating. This story exhibits on full display why it is that we don't trust evolutionists. Why we don't trust it? We don't trust them. This is a perfect example. And I wanted to show this to you guys using my screen capture here. I hope you don't mind. But let's read this here. Desert tortoises, as their name suggests, don't encounter many large bodies of water, but surprisingly all turtles, even desert tortoises, can hear better underwater, recent research finds. ppsimmons and many of all of the reputable creationist properties out there on the internet, we look at all of the most recent information, the most recent scientific research, scientific discoveries, and we don't rely on old, worn out, pilt down man type material that has been proven fraudulent. We move with the times here, and we understand, especially here in Canada, that we own the science. The vast majority of the science in Canada, especially the biological sciences, it's all paid for with taxpayer money. So we own the science. And we can jettison the atheistic interpretations of the evidence, of the science, and read it for ourselves. And this is a great case of Occam's razor showing that God did it. Special recent creation is actually the best possible explanation for this. And you'll see why it's frustrating here in a moment. The article says, if a desert tortoise decided to stick its head underwater, it could hear better, said Katie Willis, a University of Maryland doctoral student and co-author of a study published online this week in the journal PLOS ONE. The findings shed light on the evolution of turtles. Now, that's just a blanket statement they throw in there. The findings shed light on the evolution of turtles, presupposing that evolution is true, suggesting that they all share an aquatic ancestor, the researchers said. Willis and her co-authors took MRI and CT scans of the inner ears of the many different species of turtles. They calculated that in every case, these relatively large, air-filled sacs inside the skull resonated or vibrated more powerfully underwater, where sound waves travel more quickly than in the air. This process of hearing starts when sound waves vibrate the eardrum, which in turtles is flush with the outside of the skull. Willis told Our Amazing Planet, when the sound waves are at the right frequency or pitch, they cause the inner ear to resonate and vibrate, aiding hearing, she said. This allows animals to better hear fainter sounds. All right, after taking measurements of the turtles' inner ears, the team found that all of them resembled those of aquatic turtles. The ratio between the size of the skull and the size of the inner ear remained the same. Wow. This observation, along with the team's resonance calculations, suggests that all turtles evolved from a common ancestor that lived in the water, she said. All right, we'll end it there. This article presupposes evolution. It doesn't suggest it at all. In fact, what it actually suggests, now Occam's razor, you've heard us talk about it before, is essentially the argument that says, all things being equal, the simplest explanation is the best explanation. It's probably accurate. And in this case, the findings, it's reported, shed light on the evolution of turtles. But yet, more obvious to me, anyway, without the presupposition of evolution, is that the findings shed light on the lack of evolution of turtles. I mean, if as it is said at the bottom here, that suggests that they all came from a common ancestor that lived in the water, why then, after thousands or millions of years, have we seen exactly no evolution? These turtles, they live in the Mojave Desert in the southwest United States. Why is it, after all of this time, they show exactly no sign of evolution? They've been living in a dry desert climate for thousands, and if deep time speculation is correct, millions of years, or at the very least hundreds of thousands of years, without any sign of evolution whatsoever to adapt to the dry desert climate. Their ears still, without any change at all, are better used underwater. There's two things going on here. This article actually confirms this finding, this research discovery, actually confirms two things. It confirms that evolution is not happening, it's unobserved, unobservable, and never happened. Changes over time, adaptation, etc., like finches developing smaller or larger or longer or shorter beaks. That happens, but that is predicted in the Bible. I mean, you take the example of the peppered moth in England when chimneys were putting out all of that filth and coating the trees with darker colored spots. It was observed that over a generation or so, or generations, but not a very long time, the moths in the area, they adapted by changing their color to match the color of the trees. But that event is recorded in the Bible when we have Jacob putting a visual object in front of sheep and the sheep having offspring that were the color of the stick. And so that sort of thing is evidenced in the Bible, and since we have only one of every kind of two of every kind of animal on the ark, I mean, it stands to reason that they would speciate over the 5,000 years since, so that the wolves that were on the ark have given rise to the countless breeds of dog that we have today, etc., etc. So this article here, and I'll post a link to it. The writers are suggesting that all turtles evolved from a common ancestor that lived in the water. Well, in all actuality, they haven't evolved at all, and they all did come from one pair on the ark. This article only shows that evolution is not happening, and the Bible is vindicated once again. Jeez, this is so frustrating when the evidence comes up. They say, well, there's no evidence for special creation, and yet here we have, once again, evidence for special creation. Desert tortoises can hear better underwater. If I sound frustrated, it's because I am, and you guys know why. They're always saying, show us the evidence. Here's the evidence. Take it or leave it. It's up to you. I'm Mike Shoesmith. Thanks for watching.